All right, guys. So this is our first foray into Screencastify and the YouTube notes. So when we're looking at this, I'm going to start with Unit 1, Section 1. So we're going to be Unit 1, Section 1. All right. So we're going to work through this. So what is chemistry? Well, chemistry is a lot of things. People usually think about fire when they think chemistry. But when we talk about so chemistry essentially is the study of change. We're looking at how things change and what occurs when things react. What areas of this life or what areas of your life does this affect? And it's everything. So, if you talk about what am I going to do or how things change, you could from your car to, how your car functions, to how your computer functions, to how your body functions, to how your house is constructed, to how plants grow. All of these are based on chemistry. All right. So this is going to be, everything is based on this. Now, vocabulary is going to be important so that we learn how to talk to each other. All right. That's going to be kind of our big to do. And so here, our scientific method, we're going to identify a problem, perform an experiment with detailed observations, because without observations, we're not going to be able to better understand the world around us and see those changes. We're going to analyze data and observations, analyze what we did, and then we're just going to repeat. If you think about the word research, it's to do again, search, to search again. So you're just constantly searching for more answers. So what I'd like you to do, and I'm not going to talk about it here, is this picture right here is a see, think, wonder. Essentially, that's what the scientific method is. We identify, we see a problem, we think about it, and we wonder how we can better understand it. All right, so we will go over that in lecture. So now we're going to get into some more kind of nuts and bolts stuff. So we have qualitative, which I'm going to say is qual, and then quant. All right. So qualitative data, this is like descriptions. Descriptions or observations. All right. So here it's what you're seeing, what you're looking at. So it's our descriptions and our observations. Quantitative data, on the other hand, these are going to be numbers. All right, so this is our numbers. In quantitative data, this is going to be a measurement. So this is a measurement here. So qualitative data, descriptions, quantitative data, numbers, and measurements. That's what we're looking for. All right. So as we move on down, we've heard this term before. So what is a hypothesis? Well, hypothesis can be a lot of different things. So here I'm going to switch my pen color for a minute, maybe make this more exciting. So hypothesis. What we're going to do here is this is a prediction. All right. Now, it's not a random prediction. It's a prediction based on previous knowledge or previous evidence. So we're going to predict based on the past. Based on past. Now here, when you say predict based on past, if it's wrong, that's great, because that means you're learning something new. So your hypothesis doesn't have to be correct. It is not necessary. All right. A theory, okay, this is an idea of how things work. All right. So our theory, this is it's a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea about how things function. Okay. So if you have a hypothesis is saying, all right, well, I think this might occur. A theory is something that it's an idea that's been put out there, but it doesn't have the proof of what you would call a scientific law. All right. This has been proved. I mean, I don't have a number here, but infinity. All right. Like the law of gravity. Guess what? If you throw an object up in the air, it's going to fall. All right. So that's just something that we have to accept. All right. We all agree that the law of gravity exists. As we move on down, when we start classifying matter, all right, the way that we're going to look at classification of matter is, I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. There we go. Maybe you can see a little better now. All right. And jump in with red here. What we're going to get is matter up here. Okay. Now matter, this is going to be anything that has mass, and volume, or three-dimensional space. There's our matter. And so now we're going to kind of branch into two directions. All right. In our branching in two directions, we get a substance and a mixture. These are two ways that we're going to go. All right. Now, a substance, this is going to be same throughout. All right. So this is the same composition throughout. There's not going to be any change. So like a glass of water is the same throughout. Whereas a mixture, this is a combo of two or more substances. All right. So we have our mixture and we have our substance. Now, each of these is going to break into two as well. All right. So here we're going to come down this way, and we're going to come down this way, and we're going to get element, and we're going to get compound. An element, this is going to be your most basic form of matter. Cannot be broken down. All right. Most basic form. We can't break anything down. It is the most basic form of matter. A compound is two or more elements. All right. Now, a compound is where two or more elements are joined together on a level that we cannot see. And as far as mixtures go, there's two here. There's a heterogeneous. So there's a heterogeneous mixture, and then there are solutions. All right. Solutions are also called homogeneous mixtures, but we're going to use the word solution because that's what everybody says. So a heterogeneous mixture, this is going to be where parts are visibly different. All right. So we're going to see those and they're going to be visibly different. All right. Whereas a solution, parts look the same. So a heterogeneous mixture, essentially you could like physically separate. Like you could take, with your hands, if you had enough time, take Lucky Charms, you can separate out the marshmallows and the cereal. If you have iron and sand, if you had a really long time, you could separate the iron and the sand. A solution is something where you're going to have to do a little more to it. So like salt water. Salt water is a solution. It's salt dissolved in water. It's still salt and it's still water. They're two separate things, but they look the same. And so you can separate them by boiling off the water and the salt will remain. That was section 1. And I'm going to say that was section, I'm going to make one little change here. That was section 1A. All right. And we'll do 1B as we move on.